Welcome back, Rare Talks. You already know where it is. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't, make sure you go over to the Spotify and check out the exclusive episodes that we have on the Spotify. And today I'm back with another Rare Reactions. And today's a little bit different. We're going a little deeper and darker into the dark web of the corruption in the police force. Yes, you heard me say it. The corruption in the police force. And this all stems from a police officer yesterday getting found guilty of rape. Yes, a police officer was found guilty of rape. And the police officer's name that we'll be talking about today is Ireland Murdoch, who served in the force's Central North Basic Command Unit. Let's go to the little backstory of what happened. This rapist Met officer searched the name of the woman he assaulted in police records. Met police officer Ireland Murdoch, 26, has been convicted of raping a woman and admitted to attempting to access a restricted crime report after the offence was reported. So this guy, not only did he do dirty to this woman, he wanted to report the offence. He wanted to find out about the offence that he was being convicted of. These Met officers are very corrupted, but they've been corrupted when we've known this. So a former Metropolitan Police constable has been found guilty of raping a woman and admitted to searching her name in police records after the attack. Ireland Murdoch, a 26-year-old, will be sentenced at the same court on May 23rd. Murdoch raped the woman whom he knew on September 25th while off duty in Lambeth, South London. 4 months after the victim reported the rape in January 2022, Murdoch searched her name on police system and accessed a restricted crime report relating to her without any good reason to do so, the force said. He was arrested on January the 11th the same year. As a result of his conviction, Murdoch was found guilty of gross misconduct at the police hearing 2 months later. Murdoch of Hoddesdon, Hertfordshire, was added to the barred list, meaning he cannot work for the police and local authorities again. The Chief Superintendent, Andy Carter, another name that you lot need to be aware of, Andy Carter, that name, who is in charge of the policing for the Central North Basic Command Unit where Murdoch served until his dismissal, branded it an absolutely atrocious offence. It's funny that the police say that that's an atrocious offence, isn't it? Because if I go back in time, just a little bit back in time, does everyone remember the victim woman, Sarah Everhart? South London again. You see, people make South London sound like it's only corrupted with the youths. Oh, the police are corrupted in South London, and I can say that with all my chest. And Wayne Couzens, who was handed a life sentence in October 2021, kidnapped, raped, and murdered Sarah Everhart after he abducted her from a London street, bro. Sounded like a movie, bro. Do you remember the chilling things of this crime? My man cut up the body, blood. In the Met, in the police force, a police officer is a public servant. I say it again. A police officer is a public servant. Now, some people say, no, he's not. He's a servant of the crown. No. You're a public servant. You serve the public whenever they need you at any given time. Let's get to some facts in the police force. Just some statistics for you. More than 90 police staff were found guilty of crimes last year, data shows. Figures show 68 officers and 25 staff in England and Wales were found guilty of crimes including sexual offences and violence against persons. Another police officer's name that you probably haven't heard of, because you see the news, they like to keep these things low. A former Met police officer called Joel Borders was sentenced to 3 months in prison after being found guilty of sharing offensive message in a WhatsApp group with Wayne Couzens. So the same police officer that kidnapped and murdered a woman, there was other people that was in a WhatsApp group with him and they were saying wild stuff. This police officer was sentenced to 3 months in jail because of the WhatsApp messages. The wild WhatsApp messages. And I think everyone remembers the no going around. I don't know why this is so low and why they've kept this information so low. More than 90 police officers and staff were found guilty of crimes again after complaints or conduct investigations last year, including sexual offences, corruption and violence against persons, new statistics show. The figures released by the Home Office detailed the outcomes of criminal proceedings against the police officers and staff in the year of April 2022. It revealed that 68 police officers were found guilty as well as 25 police staff. A total of 10 officers and 3 police staff were prosecuted for violence against the person, with 10 officers and 10 staff and 2 staff guilty of sexual offences. The most common type of crime was traffic offences, with 23 officers and 11 staff found guilty, and 4 officers and 3 staff were found guilty of general misconduct in public office. Now, let me give you a story of why this is actually true. One day I was pulled over by the police for no reason. I even got the recording. I'm going to post the recording so you lot can see what happened. I'm going to post the recording. So I was getting harassed and they weren't even giving me a reason why they were harassing me. They were searching through my stuff and they just wanted a reason to stop me. And I was so confused because I just finished work and I was on the way home. My car wasn't known for violence or nothing. One of the reasons why they said they're stopping me is because my car's not insured in that area. You want to hear a joke? I was working in Orpington. I live in South London. Why would my car be insured to Orpington? And why does that even matter to you? Check the car to see if it's stolen. But we all know the real reason. And I was harassed. As you can see in the video, I was harassed. And I felt violated as well. Yeah, I've been stopped on multiple occasions and harassed, if I'm honest. I've got so many videos. I should start posting them all so you lot can see how this corruption actually works. And I'm one of a million of black people that probably go through this as well. And I'm not crying, victim card, victim card. No, I just want to know why it's always me, bruv. Just all I want to know. Like, man's legitly not doing anything. I got insurance, I got road tax, I got everything. They just have to pull me to think that I'm doing something when I'm not doing a damn thing. There's actually criminals out there that you need to get. They're the people that you should be trying to find. Not me, bro. Little old me is just doing a 9 to 5, trying to earn a living for his family. So I can understand that's true. It says 2 police officers were found guilty of corruption, as well as one member of a police staff. A further 3 officers were found guilty of forgery. Feds are doing fraud. The figures also include cases that stemmed from a complaint, conduct matter, or recorded conduct matter. So the total figures for convicted officers could even be higher. 1 second. A total of 589 allegations against police officers resulted in finding of gross misconduct over the year, and a further 680 resulted in a finding of misconduct. However, only 500 allegations resulted in an officer being dismissed from the force, or would have led to a dismissal if they were still working. The figures cover a difficult year for the police, in particular London's Metropolitan Police. In June 2021, the force was accused of being institutionally corrupt by an independent inquiry set up to review the murder of the private detective Daniel Morgan. And we're going to do a video on Daniel Morgan because his case is a whole nother palaver. But we're going to do a whole video on Daniel Morgan because that one there is mad. In February 2022, the then Chief Constable Dame Cressa Dick was forced out after a scandal at Charing Cross Police Station where officers shared a racist, sexist, misogynist and Islamophobic messages. The Chief Constable was involved in all that scandal. Can you imagine this? Can you actually imagine what I'm actually saying to you lot? Are you lot listening to what I'm actually saying? Because I generally don't think everyone's actually clicking onto what I'm actually saying. This is wild, man. This is actually wild. I don't even know what to say. This is actually wild. Last summer, the Met was placed in special measures by Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabulary. While in November 22, former officers Jonathan Cobban and Joel Borders were sentenced to 3 months in prison after being found guilty of sharing racist, homophobic, misogynistic, ableistic messages in a WhatsApp group with Cousins. Cousins, just everyone knows, he's the man that killed Sarah Everhard. I'll keep putting the picture up and you'll keep seeing his face because devils like that need to be exposed. I believe that the Metropolitan Police and all of the corruption, every single officer that has done something wrong, their face should be plastered. And the reason why their faces be plastered is because they were meant to serve the public, but instead they violated the public. So they deserve to be exposed to the public so that in future years, we know who to stay away from, because those people were basically people that took on vulnerable people, because most of the people they're abusing are vulnerable people that need their help and they're taking advantage of them. So yeah, I think that them their faces deserve to be plastered all over the walls and for everyone to see. And for everyone to see how disgusting and how vile they are as humans. Yes. 100,000, over 115,000 complaints made by the public against 76,000 individual police officers in a year of March 22, equivalent to more than half of the number of officers in England and Wales. Can you imagine this? Of these, 87,000 might have justified misconduct proceedings if proven, constituted a criminal offence or resulted in death or injury. However, 0.2% of those resulted in the misconduct proceedings, and just 16 led to dismissal of what have led to dismissal if they were still an officer. 16. Out of all of that, 16, bro. Can you imagine that? Of course it's going to stay corrupted because they protect their own. But protecting your own can lead to the death of an innocent woman like Sarah Everhard. So while you police officers don't want to report your brethren moving mad in the WhatsApp messages, talking spicy, talking about, yeah, I might just murk a woman. You're a joker, man. Like, man ain't really joking. Man's a serious guy. Like, he went and killed the woman, bro. Like, we need to pay attention to these things. Because the same way we're talking about protecting people, we need to protect people from the Met. A total of 10,457 public allegations related to police use of force, while only 2,683 related to racial discrimination. There were 214 allegations related to sexual conduct. This is just what's being reported, so there's way more than that. Male officers accounted for 72% of complaints, making up 67% of the force. Some officers were subject of more than one complaint. Chief Superintendent Andy Walker, the head of the ununiformed policing at the College of Policing, said, with these misconduct figures in the public domain, I hope it can help to reassure our communities that policing takes misconduct very seriously and any officers or staff who breach professional standards are being held to account. How? If we've made this much complaints, there's only 16 people have been dismissed from them. Man's acting like that's helping us. Like, let me put the figures out there to show you lot how weak you lot are, because you lot think that we're being good Samaritans, we're putting out the figures. No, people are finding out figures. That's what we're doing. We're finding figures out. Nothing to do with you. We're finding out figures. There are a number of College of Policing measures in place to tackle misconduct, such as the barred list, which prevents dismissed officers or staff from re-entering the service. There's also a code of ethics that sets the standards of behaviour for everyone in policing and empowers officers and staff to challenge any colleagues who have fallen short of their standards regarding the rank, role or position. Misconduct guidance has been updated to ensure any policing who behaves in a way that damages the public's confidence in the service are held to account and receive robust sanctions for their actions. Let me just say something now, like in just finishing up. Police corruption is not going nowhere, and in the London Met we can see that it's more corrupted than ever. And if I bring on majority of people, if I bring a lot of people on, they'll be able to identify times when they've had to face discrimination, racism, sexual misconduct. Like, I even got stories like of like female officers touching my genitalia and stuff like that. Like, it's a little bit better now, but back in the day they didn't really care. And bullying, they used to jump out. TSG used to jump out on us when we was in Tulsa, just walking and just chase us. Like, bro, man, just walking and then we just start getting chased. The reason why I would run, you'd think, oh, why are you running if you're not guilty, bro? Who wants to be held for an hour and like interrogated for no reason? Like, that's long. Man, I'd just rather run from that. So I can understand where that's coming from. And even with this new case of Island Murdoch, who raped the woman, it shows you that the corruption in the police force is not getting any better. It's only getting worse. And if we don't do anything about it, and this is why I'll say to people, keep making your complaints. Don't ever think, oh, because they never answered my complaint before, make another one. If you feel like you've been dealt with unjustly by the police force, then make a complaint about it. And the reason why I say that is because these things do help to figures so that we can see now a clear outview of what's actually happening. You know what I'm saying? And it's good in general. So I don't want to say, I'm gobsmacked, man. Every week we come here and I do rare reactions. There's always another thing that just blows my mind. In the police force and their dirty movements is just as bad. I just like to everyone to know, yeah, that as bad as the police are, there's some police that actually do their job. So not all police officers are bad. And I just want to put that out there to people, because some people might be thinking, all police officers are bad. Not all police officers are like this, but a lot are. And we're talking about majority. But not all police officers are corrupted. Just like to put it out there to everybody. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. You already know where it is, man. Bow, we're out.